Guess what day it is?
February the 7th.
This goddamn smarch weather. It's Wednesday,
Yeah.
and we are here live. Well, partially.
With no seatbelts on.
No seatbelts.
Oh, no airbags.
No airbags. We die like real men. Welcome to Strang Theory. My buddy Chris Coots in the house.
Howdy.
The lovely Ginger's in the house.
Right there.
I got my hat on. The dogs are prancing about.
Hi, Beans.
Jack is sitting at the door like he might shit on the floor just any second now.
Excellent.
Jill's rubbing her arse on the floor. It's a classic night, Pice. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
A big thank you to our partners. Boucher Guitars, Levy's, G&G Music, Citadel Music. Well, not anymore.
No.
They're still there, but I don't know what's going on.
Kind of.
Brickhouse Guitars, K&K, Gallagher Guitars, Recording King, Alvarez, Yeri, St. Louis Music, Yamaha, James Martin Instruments, Close Guitars, Cody Guitars, Orangewood Guitars, Dario Canada, the Arc, Apollo Picks, Epiphone, Gibson, Blue Chip Picks, LR Bags, our friends at LR Bags, Maestro Hose and Guitars, George Crackett, Emerald Guitars, Nova Scotia SPCA,
Yes, sir.
Charmed Life Picks, Picker's Grip, Flamand Guitars in Green, Iowa. Oh, we're throwing picks everywhere.
Whoa.
And our brand new partner in Mississauga, Ontario, Gitter House, Guitar House.
Gitter House.
Our good friend,
Get her done at Gitter House.
Mr. Stan Kachemsky in Mississauga, Ontario, is kicking ass. Just did a video dropped on him Monday night. The new story he's got going up there, and it's friggin' deadly. But all you have left to say after that is welcome
to
String Theory. Here's John and Chris and Ginger. So that's about. What are you gonna do?
That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
That was recorded right at the hall.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me on fire drunk.
You can hear the hall in it.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like it was recorded from the kitchen.
It wasn't a kitchen. It was Renee Laforte's kitchen. I was tearing it up. Drunk off my ass.
You were 17 then?
Oh, 24.
Okay.
So, welcome.
You said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we are. What you gonna do
There
now,
we were.
the big wheels?
Here we are, and there we
I'm
were.
gonna pick up
The pick?
this pick
All right.
because I can't find any more of them.
Okay.
If
not
you
like a
step on
bucket of
that,
them.
she'll snap, and that'll be the end of that.
Snap.
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 So, Capo Corner.
Capable.
Well, Capo Corner is our buddy up in Mississauga. So I was up there last weekend doing a clinic for Yamaha, and so I walk into the store, and if you haven't seen the video, the guitar stuff with John from this previous Monday night, go look at it. You walk in the store and it looks like a J.R. Ray's furniture place. This beautiful open space, huge front storefront. But in the back wall, there's a dozen FG9s hanging there.
Nice.
He has 17 of them. He has the most FG9s of any dealer in the world
Wowza.
right now. So he comes out and he says, "Welcome to Gitter House." He's from Poland. And so he says, "Come with me," right? And he takes you back through this back door, and then suddenly you're in this huge warehouse-looking place where they build custom furniture in there and all stuff. There's packing, shipping, receiving, and take you around this little corner through the maze, and you open this door, and you go into this place. It's like a speakeasy. It's like when you walk in there, you feel like you've been invited by appointment only. And the man has the greatest selection of acoustic guitars that I've ever seen, ever, in one room. It's unbelievable. He has Loudons. He has Furk. He has everything that came out of the Hamamatsu shop, the custom shop for Yamaha. He has Dovina. He has American Breedloves. He has Godans. Like everything, every high-end thing he could put in there, he put in there. And, man, it's refreshing because that kind of shop is gone now. There really isn't anything like that anymore. When I was a kid, there was.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to go to Gruen's or the Folklore Center or to... There was only 3 or 4 stores in all of North America that had that kind of... Yeah, that had that kind of a room.
Like a curated selection.
Yeah, it's like a museum for guitar heads. Yeah. Right? And...
It's not trying to move volume. It's just... It's a curated collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stan is a super nice man. Just unbelievably, and his wife and kids and stuff all work in there, and it's just nuts. And I was just blown away by him, and so he's come on as a partner. He's the third. He's the third of the Trinity. So we have Glenn, who's the #1 Boucher dealer in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We have Roger Schmidt.
Hotel.
Yeah, we have Roger in Kitchener, who is continually designing instruments that you can't find them anywhere else.
Squeeze me.
Yeah, the Avenir and the hose ends and the Bridgeports and all the instruments and the pickups he's designed. And he's also a Boucher dealer, and on that goes. Like it's another place that you walk into, and you can't believe you're in there, right? And then now you have Guitar House.
Guitar House?
That does everything.
H-A-U-S?
H-A-U-S, yeah. That has everything else that you can't find. Like, I never saw that many Loudons in one room in my life. And they're usually under glass because they're so rare, right? George Loudon doesn't build a lot of guitars. He's just not built many instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And so you walk in there and there's 10 of them. And here, play one. Right? And they're usually under glass in places, right? Because they're so rare. And so I was just blown away by it. So,
Mississauga.
Guitar House.
House.
Guitar HAUS.ca.
You want to go to the Guitar House, yeah?
Guitar House.
Guitar House.
Guitar House. So, special love to him and his family and the shop. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about him because him and I we've kind of bonded. He's a huge guitar head. He was a fan of mine before I walked in there. He told me on the video, he said, "I've been watching your reviews for years because I learn about guitars. And the reason I bought so many FG9s was because of you." And I told Yamaha that. And so Yamaha knows now that I'm selling,
guitars.
dozens of units.
Guitars.
Those are not cheap guitars.
No.
They're $5,200 a piece, right? So, and they're sought after already. It's one of those instruments that are going to be... People are going to be chasing those things all over the world for the next couple of years because they're only building 500 a year.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do anymore. It's just like Robin. He's only a shop with one master and 12 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow, it was
Nice.
a very exciting trip. And Yamaha has been fantastic. Yamaha is, I guess I can say this now, because they were hiding it for the longest time, but there's an FS9 coming. And one's on the way here.
Nice.
2 of them. Rosewood and mahogany. So the small-bodied version of the 9. And of course, Stan had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it, and it ripped my face off.
What's the difference between the G and the S?
Well,
Super
one's a
letter.
dreadnought, one's an LM.
One's an OM. Okay.
Yeah, and they are Boucher level.
Nice.
Boucher level quality. Because they're built in the same environment. It's a master builder working with a dozen guys. And that's how you build great guitars.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So it's exciting. And there's even more exciting news coming at the end of the show. You're going to crap when you hear all of this. So
Definitely make sure you have some Kleenex or some Huggies.
Yeah, stay to the end. Put on your diapers. Get your lotion ready.
Depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Kirsten goes to
Stephen Baker in the tub.
Yeah, fucking Stephen Baker.
Does it? Well, actually, yes, but it's just a highlighted chat.
Oh.
It isn't really Stephen?
Stephen Baker, a highlighted chat. He's been a member for 32 months, and he just says Happy Wednesday.
No.
He's
Happy
keeping
birthday.
it simple.
Love you, Baker.
Keep it simple and clean for once.
Sudsy old
That
Baker.
reminds me, don't forget to go to mastermusicmethod.com.
Mm-hmm.
Baker and I are doing a huge push this year to actually complete the site with everything we want on it.
Right to the end of the internet.
It's running now. People are signing up like crazy. Go to mastermusicmethod.com if you want lessons that only cost you $22 a month Canadian, as opposed to $200 a month for private lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get way more out of this.
You can do it in your underwear at home.
Yeah, because guess what? You can rewind.
That's how Baker's programming it.
Yeah. You can rewind me.
Or
Right.
turn him off.
Or turn me off. But
Can I get that functionality?
When have you ever been in a live?
Can I get that functionality?
Sometimes I need to rewind you and play you back to yourself.
Oh, snap.
Just in case,
That was
sometimes.
pretty good, actually.
Fact checking?
It's pretty funny, actually.
I thought it was pretty clever. Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Undercompensating again. Oops. Double check your earbags. Your Scotch eggs.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
If
Get ready to bleep this out, Ginger.
Yeah.
Yes. What are you looking for?
I lost it already.
What?
Damn it!
Move for.
I kept the tag from.
Is
I
there?
put the tag from this company right here and it's gone.
Oh, I was cleaning. It's still there though.
Well, so much for that.
It's still there. It's
Anyhow,
just over
I
there
think the name of this company is
on the label.
Sugarlands Distilling.
Mm-hmm.
Appalachian Sip and Cream.
It's deadly.
If you're listening to this, Sugarlands, we want to sponsor you in Canada. I know that you're from Tennessee and stuff, so
We'll set up full distribution out of the garage.
yeah, we will. This is like the greatest drink ever made. This is the third flavor we've tried. This is electric orange.
Crisp and clean and no caffeine.
Yeah, and knock you flat on your ass because
Yeah, it's
I believe
pretty
it's
good stuff.
I believe it's moonshine in it.
It's pretty good stuff.
It's really good.
Yeah. What was the other one that
Appalachian
we had the other day?
banana. Oh, we had pecan.
Pecan. Yeah. Butter pecan.
Man, Appalachian Civic Dream by Sugarlands Distillery.
We endorse you.
Come on, boys, ring the fucking phone. Do it now. Okay, sorry.
All right. Second question.
Nobody
goes
loves
to-
me but my liquor companies. Apparently, I'm not too fucking popular around here anymore. So I'll just
That's not what I said.
say my stuff. Hey, I have,
Baby gonna
I have
cry?
a string wonder.
Baby gonna cry?
What's the next question, bitches?
We have a super chat from Railroad Bum.
Railroad bum.
Yes.
Is he? Oh, that's a Jimmy Rogers lyric.
Railroad bum?
Oh yeah, get off, you railroad bum, and he slammed the boxcar door.
I thought he was just talking about how bad the seats are.
No, he's probably talking about what happened.
It's
to
like
him when he
airline
rode
bum.
It's like airline bum.
Yeah, railroad bum that's what happens when you go in the wrong boxcar
Right.
at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Now.
Wow.
You come out
There
with
it goes.
railroad bum.
There it goes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Go up with an arsehole, come up with a manhole.
What
What's the
does
next
he
question?
have to say?
Yes.
He says, "Good to see you back, JP. Missed your rants, man." Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Tim. Okay, next.
We have a super chat from Jasper North,
Jasper
Hey,
North.
Jasper.
our
Way
pirate
to
buddy.
go.
Jasper, does this t-shirt make my ass look big? Just wondering.
Everything makes your ass look big.
I'm just trying to set Jasper up for the smack across the chops I know I'm going to get from him.
Yeah.
And a come later.
He'll come later.
He says, thoughts on balanced tension strings for picking.
What? Balanced tension strings.
Balanced tension strings for picking.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm sorry. All these gimmicks, right, that people come up with, balanced tension, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. This is a whole new thing. Let's reinvent the fucking guitar so we can play it.
Listen, this is a safe space. Just tell us what you really think.
Guess
Your
what?
amongst strengths.
Guess what? If your hands are shit, your sound like shit. That's the secret. This is what makes a guitar sound great. Not the strings, not the frets, not the sound hole, not the pick, not your mother's fucking baked bread.
You have hands like a what?
You have hands like a dead moose. If you got hands like a dead moose and you're just clawing away at the guitar and you're like, and you got that going on, well, you're not gonna sound like shit.
All right.
So don't worry about any of this stuff about. Just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself a nice set of light gauge 12 to 53 elixirs or the Dario XS. Put them on your guitar
And play the thing.
and play and practice your right hand and your left hand until you bleed, and then you're going to be great. Everything's going to sound fantastic.
950 hours later.
You got to practice. You got to practice. Don't worry about any of these heads or tricks or. It's all bullshit, because I could string this guitar with the flesh of a dead raccoon, and it would still sound the same if I put D'Addario's on it. And any professional guitar player can do the same thing.
We have a special on drama queens.
Yeah.
Caleb says, tell me you've never tried them without telling me you've never tried them.
I just don't believe in any of that.
You don't even know what it is.
As soon as people start mentioning...
I don't know what it is.
When people mention stuff to me about the guitar that I don't know what it is, I don't care.
Okay.
Because I've
Apparently
been
he's
playing
not big
for
on
50
learning.
years. I've seen everything that there is that my heroes use to play great guitar.
Are you
And
saying there's
none of
no
it was
new
that.
technology that you would ever use? Nothing since...
Nothing since the
60
Time
years ago?
Traveler, anyway.
Nothing since coated strings, no. Honestly.
Coated strings was a
Oh,
big
look.
thing when that came
Yeah.
out.
And when they came out, they sucked.
Yeah.
The
Blue
polymorph...
dog, because it just came off.
Polymorph.
Polymorph.
The
The Time
whatever
Traveler
that
came
was.
off.
That was crap.
shape-shifting...
And then when they came up with nano coating, nanoweb, elixir, and now D'Addario has even upped the game even further with the better core and the better the better coating on the winding. That's the only technology that I've ever seen. Okay, so here's an interesting little rabbit hole.
Okay.
If we go backwards from that time, the technology that struck me first before that was a product called Fast Fret. Remember that stuff?
Fast Fret.
It came in a little metal can, a bronze-colored metal can. And when you pulled it out, it was a wooden handle, and it had a compressed, like fuzzy tip,
Ball?
like a paintbrush,
Yeah.
right? Hard.
Like a fuzzy ball.
No, it was tubular.
Okay.
And you took it and you rubbed it on the strings,
Yeah.
and it supposedly
Coated the string.
It supposedly cleaned all the dirt off too.
So it was like silicone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it worked. It kept your strings alive longer than anything else, and you did that, and it came with a cloth. So you'd wipe the strings, take the cloth, wipe each string, and the cloth would be all green from your hands, and your guitar strings would sound like brand new for a short period of time.
Right.
Before that product, I can't really think of anything that I saw that I went, this is a game changer. Except for possibly certain types of capos. When I first discovered, when Shubs first came out,
Right.
that was a game changer. This contraption right here, when they came out with this, and we were no longer had to use the elastic Dunlops and the old stainless steel Hamilton crossover capos and this fret spanner, that thing was a joke.
That's still my favorite capo.
This changed everything
Yeah.
when this came out. And then on to these things too. D'Addario, when these came out, is simple thumb screw adjustment.
Over center lock.
Unreal.
Yeah.
This is a great capo. Those, and then of course, we have to go beyond. Where did we start? The
Balance
rabbit
string.
hole was
balance.
Yeah.
Tension.
So
Overhead cam.
after that, it really became about pick materials. We used, in my day, nylon Dunlops, and Doc used Herco nylons.
Pieces of milk carton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used butter lids.
Yeah.
My father cut me picks out of them.
The plastic closures for bread bags.
Yeah.
Right?
My father would take them and
Yeah.
cut them into, yeah. So when you start talking about those sort of things, to me, I'm just like, it's a joke.
It's all being done.
It's all, if you really believe that that's going to change anything, it's not.
No.
It really doesn't. It may change something, but by such small, by such small amounts that it's negligible that it even does anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can measure this shit. You work on it in the shop, and you can see the size and the tensions and all that stuff that happens. What does it really change? Like, it's like right now people are going.
The math and the physics have been worked out before.
They have been.
Yeah.
And the other one is that the silver strings that Rice used. I'm going to draw a blank on this. Not Perlon. They're Monel.
Oh, Monel.
Monel
wire,
strings.
Yeah.
They sound dead when you put them on, and they die instantly. Seriously.
Yeah.
They sound pretty good when you put them on, but 3 songs in, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like it did Rice, but Rice didn't care, because Rice had the most incredible right and left hand in the fucking history of guitar playing, and he used custom-shaped tortoiseshell picks that it didn't matter what was on the guitar, he could draw the tone out of it. Again,
But it was skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with equipment. It was all here. The hands are what created Tony Rice. They're what created Doc Watson, Chet Atkins, Norman Blake, all of them. It isn't the equipment, it's the hands.
So
right?
I just Googleized the balance tension strings.
Mm-hmm.
So it says they deliver comparable feel from string to string. So they all feel the same.
Like they're the same tension.
So one doesn't feel too tighter or looser than the rest, like they normally do, I guess.
Well, I would hate that.
Because you're not used to it.
Yeah, it
I
changes
would
the
hate
way the
that.
guitar plays.
I would hate that, because part of the way that you play is you create muscle memory that lets you know that when you're playing the big E string, and it feels a certain way, and you know what the action and the speed of it will be.
Yeah.
And if I do that, and it's the same as the G string, I'm all messed up.
You don't know where you are.
No.
Right?
The whole
That's
idea.
part of the motor memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole idea is to understand that the big E is the
There's
most...
there's going to be no feedback from the guitar
No,
instantly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or it'll be all the same feedback from all 6
Well, yeah,
strings.
that's what it is. Right?
And then your right hand technique is shot, because you don't know how to. Because every single string requires a different stroke, and people don't realize that. And it's
you are a big stroker.
I'm a big stroker. But when you play the guitar, it isn't just bang, 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 bang 6 times. Each string requires a certain attack,
Yeah.
and a certain pick angle, and a certain amount of pressure.
Unless you have the hands of a moose. A dead
Unless
moose.
you have a dead
Dead
moose
moose.
hands, and then you're fucked anyway. So.
All right.
But that's the main thing. Look, go back to the old school. Play good coated strings, light gauge. Don't play medium gauge strings. You don't need it. Medium gauge strings just put extra tension on the top and stop it from vibrating. Put light gauge strings on your guitar. The top will flow way more freely. Your left hand will thank you, and you just sit there and just work the finesse, man. Work it till you get.
And I'll go look up balanced whatever strings
Balanced
and see how
tension.
they work.
Yeah.
You might have to.
Yeah.
Because I know what it is.
Yeah.
They're manipulating the chords.
Right.
I wonder.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Maybe.
Which may change the whole timbre of the
It
string.
says it's mathematically equalized resistance.
There you go. That's
because
the core.
math,
That's
eh?
Because math.
Because
Because
the core.
math. Because
Because
physics.
math.
Yeah. Well, we're going to tell you about that later.
Next.
Oh,
Next.
Guitar House is in the house.
Oh.
Sweet. Stir.
Nice.
What's he saying?
Welcome.
He says hello from Mississauga.
Hello, Mississauga.
Go check this guy out, man. Guitarhouse.ca.
I'm gonna check him out next time I'm up there.
It's wicked. It's
Mr.
wicked.
Cam McMaster is also in the house.
Clam
Disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on the golf course, Clam?
OG Clam.
OG Clam.
OG Clam.
OG, it's Clam.
OG Clam.
We've got a super chat from Colin Dolan.
Colin
Hey,
Dolan.
Colin.
All the way from Ireland.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Fiddly-dee potatoes.
Welcome back, lads and Ginger. JP, do you still have the FGX5 and the LL56?
The FGX5 I just sold because I've been intaking more Yamahas, and the 56 will be in my will.
And
Will
I'm going to have to
never,
build a new building.
Ever part with that guitar. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, over the tour, I was able to get my hands on an LJ36 through Yamaha.
Mm-hmm.
Facilitated me getting this guitar. And so I'm slowly building my custom back. So I got the 56, 36. Next one will be a 26. I'll probably pick up next year through Yamaha. And the FG, any of the 9s I have, FG or FS. So I've got this hierarchy of custom-made Yamahas, and I'll never sell them. There's no way. The 56 is... That guitar was built by one guy in Hamamatsu.
One dude.
The master built that guitar. And the 36 was built by his apprentices and him. 26 the same. All the 9s the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy what's going on over in Japan right now. Yamaha is killing it. Killing it. They're scaring the crap out of everybody right now. Because the guitars that are coming out of there are just... It's crazy. They're just nuts. Yeah, I still have the 56 to be with me forever, but the 5 went because I didn't need it anymore. I love them. If you want that guitar, you can't beat that guitar for the money. $1,800, and the Acoustafeel pickup system, the dual source, it's deadly. Deadly guitars. So yeah.
And you'll never have a problem with it.
No,
'Cause
it'll
it's
stay together
Yamaha.
forever.
Yeah.
You'll be 102 still playing it.
Mm.
It'll outlive you easily.
It'll keep you alive.
That's
actually.
right. You'll be live to be 107.
It's so well built, it
Yeah.
will keep you alive,
Yeah.
so you'll play it.
Yeah, when you get on your deathbed, they'll just stick it right beside you on the bed. You'll
Yeah.
jump up out there and start picking. That's right. Next.
Sorry, I'm trying to solve all the world's problems at the same time. Question from Judge Too Good.
That's new.
I think so. Tried to order the Yamaha LL56 and Boucher in Austin, Texas. The two dealers had never ordered a custom guitar. Who can I call to talk to someone who has ordered these guitars and give me some options? G&G?
But
Will they ship to Austin?
he's mentioned 2 guitars.
Yeah.
So the 56, any Yamaha dealer in America should be able to order it. And if you can't order a Boucher, go to boucher.ca or boucherguitars.com, I think it is.
Yeah.
And contact them directly. And if they can't deal with you directly, they'll have a dealer near you that will get the job done and bring it in and ship it to you.
You can send them a message right on the website.
Yeah.
They'll get back to you and let you know.
You'll be looking for a fellow named Guillaume de Silva. He's the main dude, Guillaume de Silva. But if you go in there and just drop them in a line and tell them what's going on, that you're in, where did he say he was? Texas?
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, if you tell them you're in Texas, as far as I know, they got a dealer in Texas. I think. I'm pretty sure they have one. And I'm going to be in Texas in September at the Bower Sox International Guitar Festival. So I might have a Boucher with me. I have so many of them.
You might have the appropriate Boucher with you.
You never know.
Yeah.
But that's going to be good. So yeah, good luck. Yamaha, any Yamaha dealer should be able to order anything you want. And if you can't find a Boucher guy, email them directly. They'll.
Would Glenn mail a guitar down there?
Well, no.
Is that
That's not how it works.
too far?
Unless it's it's not that it's too far, and I don't want to screw a Texas dealer.
Oh yeah.
Right. So if there's a dealer
Territory
in
and all
Texas, I'm pretty sure there is one. And if it's not, there's one there's one in Nashville.
You should text Guillaume and ask.
So So just the best way to do is to go to them directly on the website. They'll tell you where to go, and there's no reason why you can't have a Boucher right to your door. And I can tell you right now, you can buy a Boucher sight unseen without any worry whatsoever. When that thing gets to your door,
happiness will ensue.
Yeah, your face will come off when you play that guitar for the first time. They're the best guitars in the world right now. Robin builds the best instruments on the planet. I don't know how long that will last. Like me and Robin talk about that, because everything is cyclical, and somebody will come along and leapfrog him eventually, and then he may leapfrog them again, and it just goes like that. So right now, the Boucher is the best thing in the world.
It's an animal.
It is.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Good Kirsten.
Next.
I had a chat from Buzz Gold.
Buzz Gold.
He says, "Good to see you back."
Thank you. It's good to be seen.
The old buzzard.
Mm-hmm.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, you were gone for a while.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I was
were.
out in
He
the
was
road for
gone.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
It was a good trip, though. Get a lot done.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Super chat from Jim Waller.
Jim Waller.
My few days in Nashville with you, Gunning, Robin, Guillaume, and Dave Mathis was an adult Christmas for me.
Yes.
Forget the brilliance in music and guitar ability. You are all beautiful and fun people. Thanks, JP.
Right on.
Nice.
So, I think that right now we should just step off into...
Could we do just one more super chat
Yes.
since it's sitting here?
Do
and
it.
then we can do that. Super chat from Sarah Watson.
Sarah Watson.
My husband and I are so excited to see you and Dave at Canada Day.
Sweet. Pugwash.
Pugwash.
Yeah. It's a good time.
I've never been to a concert in
Canada.
Pugwash.
I've played Canada there twice at least.
Where do you play in Pugwash?
There's this huge amphitheater on the water.
Never been there.
It's amazing. Huge.
Right over there in Pugwash.
Concrete stage with a big roof.
By the salt mines.
Yeah. Beautiful. A wicked place to play.
Never been there in my
Yeah,
life.
it's pretty deadly.
Hot damn.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
And you're playing Canada Day.
Yeah.
You're gone this weekend.
Yeah. Well,
That's
Sunday and Monday,
next-
Tuesday, yeah. All right, cool.
Well, that's a bummer.
All right.
So the next thing we have to talk to you about is a geek speak.
A nerd turd.
Nerd turd. Or a geek speak. Or a nerd turd. We're not sure exactly where that's going, but... So,
I like nerd turds.
Mr. Coot, my trusted friend, what do you got today?
I have for you a genuine Brown and Sharp 1-inch micrometer.
Nice.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
I'll see you later.
Thank you. I will just sit here and play with this because it just feels so cool. Yes.
Hi, Clucky. All right. What are we doing?
Well, you tell me.
Saddle compensation.
Yeah.
So last time we were all together, we talked about scale length.
Yep.
And we touched on how different scale lengths have an effect on the playability of an instrument due to its effect on string tension.
Yep.
And string tension is directly related to tuning and the intonation and the tone produced by a particular guitar.
Yep.
So, tonight, we dive down the rabbit hole into the weeds. Wow. I need to take a moment after that.
Well, you ever see the rabbit holes? Their fur comes off
It
inside.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same as a gopher
It's all,
hole.
if you stick your head in there, it's like putting your head in a mitten.
Okay. We're going to discuss saddle compensation. So, most commonly, question asked about saddles is, why is there that
Zigzag.
zigzag or that
For the B
big
string.
notch
Yeah.
for the B string,
Yeah.
right? Why do we need compensated saddles,
Yep.
and how do we do it?
There you go.
So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So the primary reason, of course, is to make all the strings play in tune over the entire fretboard.
Yep.
So commonly referred to as how well the guitar is intonated,
Yep.
or how poorly it's intonated, right?
And
And
just to give you a quick example
yeah,
of intonation, so you know exactly what we're talking about, is when the 12th fret harmonic
the
is
halfway point of the
is
string,
identical to the fretted note of the 12th fret.
right?
So if that's correct, when they're identical, you know your intonation is perfect.
Right.
Right.
Otherwise, as you move up and down the neck and fret different strings, the strings are going to be slightly sharp, slightly flat,
Yeah.
and your shit's going to sound
It's
out
all
of tune.
the, all the saddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All the saddle and the neck,
Yep.
really.
Yeah.
But tonight we'll talk about the saddle. So, because each set of strings and each you can get different gauge sets as we all know, but each string is a different diameter. The larger strings, when you fret them, play sharp,
Yep.
and the larger the string, the sharper it's going to play when it's
Yep.
fretted.
The heavier it is, the sharper it goes.
Right. So, if the guitar is just sitting there and you're not fretting it, the string is a straight line
Mhm.
between the nut and the bridge or the saddle.
Mhm.
But when you fret a string, you're actually putting a kink in the string, and you're increasing its length, so you're
Yep.
stretching it.
Yep.
And when you stretch it, the tension goes up.
Yep.
Therefore, the string plays sharp,
Yep.
right? So that little bit of stretch, I see it as like a triangle. You're
Yep.
turning it from a straight line, and now you're making a triangle out of it.
Really shallow one.
Yeah, really shallow one, but
Yeah.
that's how I go, okay, yeah, it is longer because you
Yep.
turned it into a triangle.
Yep.
So that slight difference in the tension causes the string to intonate differently at different fret positions and makes the guitar play out of tune.
Well, you could be wrong there. Because each string gets smaller from the low E, the big E, down to the high E. So why isn't that just bullshit? Right?
Right. Well, interestingly enough,
Uh-huh. Ooh. Visual aids.
we're only talking about the core
Right.
of the string.
Yeah.
The winding doesn't have any effect on the phenomenon of the string stretching when you fret it. It's all about,
It's the middle
core.
of the string.
yeah, it's the middle of the string.
Not the winding that makes it fat. It's the inside that the winding's going around.
Right.
That's what dictates the intonation of the guitar.
Yeah, and the size of each core.
I should
So-
say there, a really interesting thing.
Yeah,
When strings go dead, their intonation goes off. That's why. Because the winding has nothing to do. The winding gets dirty and fills, right? And when you
fills
press
with
the
crap.
string down, it changes the angle and the stretch of the string, and your intonation goes
that
up.
may be bullshit. I'm not sure.
I don't know. But
So-
that's why.
This set of strings is the set that I took off the guitar that I put the pickup in for you over the weekend.
Yep.
So I don't know what brand they are.
They look like D'Addario.
They look like D'Addario Foster Bronzes. Uncoated. But that's all I know about them because they came on the new guitar. And,
Yep.
they may not be D'Addario's. They're not color. They don't have colored ball ends on them.
Oh, that's right.
But I
That's
took.
right. You're right.
I unwrapped. I don't know if Ginger, you can pick that up there on the other camera.
1 second.
Try that out. I pulled the wrap off of the wrapped strings.
Yep.
And used a micrometer to measure all the cores.
Yep.
Right? So, if you want to throw up the chart there, Ginger, the first chart, do you see anything interesting? So that chart shows the which string and the total, the diameter of the string, and this is a set of 12 to 53s, which is we all see, right? Which you use, are common.
So the first thing I see is that the core size is exactly what you would expect. The big E is 17, the A is 16, the D is 15, the G is 14, and then whoops.
The
B is bigger than the G.
Right. The core of the B, because it's unwound,
it has no
winding.
The core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the same size as the A string.
Yeah. So that's what causes the intonation problem.
Right.
Because the core of the G, and plus it's tuned at a third.
Yeah.
Instead of a fifth, and yeah.
That is the reason.
I didn't actually know this until you showed me tonight. I didn't have a clue that the B string was bigger than the G string core.
That is the reason.
That's the reason.
Why the B has a big old notch in the saddle in the other direction.
Because it's sharp, because it's fatter.
So you have to reduce the effective length of the string to bring it back.
Crazy.
Right. So it intonates properly.
Yep.
Right. So generally speaking, when you look at a compensated saddle, and we've got some over there, so
yep.
Let's
see, does the Gallagher?
The Gallagher doesn't.
No, the Gallagher doesn't.
But the
Recording
King, the Creamsicle,
high string guitar,
has a fully compensated saddle.
Yep.
And you can see. Am I in the right spot there, Ginger?
I've changed.
Okay.
Hannah.
Try this out.
Yep.
Okay, you can see at the B string, the break point of the string is right down by the pin, by the end pins.
Yeah.
And then the A is back in the other direction. And if you start at the G and go up to the low E, it kind of slants back again. And the whole saddle is tilted back. So that's a fully compensated saddle right there.
So the amazing thing to be aware of is that when you look at this from a distance, it looks like a straight line.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it isn't. It goes from the furthest this way here, right? Goes that way all the way.
The biggest core.
And down to the G string is the furthest it can go that way. The edge, the top, the razor edge of the top of the saddle. So this way, you're that way. G string, you're all the way that way. And then the B string makes this massive jog backwards.
Yeah.
Because it's big. The core is
just jumped up in size.
Bigger
so
than the E string.
Ginger, do you have that graphic?
Actually, pretty crazy.
With the red line, and it shows the break point on the saddle. So now, bear in mind, there's many kinds of compensated saddles. There's different ways of doing it. Different manufacturers have their own twist.
Split saddles like this one.
Yeah, a multi-piece saddle. So it's got two pieces, and it's a different take on how to do it to get the right.
But it does the same exact thing.
But it does the same thing.
It does exactly the same thing.
So most manufacturers, like, they have their own kind of thing that they do. You go to a custom shop or you go to a luthier, they all have their own tricks, and like guys will just map out the guitar and they'll hand carve one for you, and they'll to take it right down to the last cent, so it's perfect. And that's not to say that all guitars, the Gallagher doesn't have a compensated saddle, but a well-built instrument with a perfectly placed bridge and saddle
needs less compensation.
Needs so little compensation,
yeah.
Right, that you can get away with it. And this whole thing, anyway, is more for the 12th fret up.
Yeah.
That's when it really gets worse the further up the neck you go, because you have less room for error up past splitting the string in half.
And you're stretching the string further because the action is higher over the tail.
Well, there's less effective length,
yeah.
So any error is more pronounced because you have less resolution over the string. So, like, if you're Dave Gunning, you need a super duper
every string needs to be compensated
5 times, right? Yeah. So, other factors so that's not the only thing that affects intonation, right? String gauge affects it because, of course, the tension is going to affect it.
Yep.
Action height affects it
Big
because
time.
the higher the action, the further you have to pull that string in to fret it.
Yep.
The deeper that triangle is getting, the
Yep.
more you're stretching it, so the more you're pulling it out of
Out
tune,
of tune, sure.
just by fretting it.
Yeah.
And it's an incremental change,
Oh yeah.
but our ears are going to pick that up.
Yep.
So string gauge, older guitars with shorter scale lengths.
Yeah.
There's some like Gibsons with like a 54.5, I think, real old Gibsons. They're more sensitive to it.
Yeah. So in the long run too, one of the things about properly carved saddles
Mhm.
is that because you will always have to temper a
The
guitar. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what guitar it is, and each builder has their own specific type of temperament.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for instance, this Gallagher tempers much like a Boucher, right? So when I tune this guitar, good example because these strings are super dead, right? You see what I'm doing there? I'm pulling that string sharp
Mm-hmm.
to get it where it should be when it's fretted,
Yeah.
and then play it open,
And recheck it.
and it's
Yeah.
Boucher's the E string tempers sharp. So do Gallagher's,
And the B,
which is a sign of the perfection of the saddle, right?
what's the other factor there, though, between the B and the other strings?
Well, it's a third instead
Not
of a
the
fifth.
fifth, right?
Right? So there's a lot of tempering going on there.
Yeah.
When you hear them, perhaps when you hear them open, they don't sound like they would sound by a tuner.
Yeah.
But when you play chords, they're perfect.
Yeah.
Every note of that E chord, and that's how you tell. Because the reason is because you're working that open B against the G string only one fret higher.
Right.
It's a third harmony there,
Yeah.
right?
So it's touchy.
It is really touchy.
Yeah. I die inside when I go to a gig and somebody stands there
Yeah.
and tunes their guitar and then they jam a capo up on the fifth fret.
Oh yeah, and
Right?
it's just all the shit.
Yeah. Because like you never do that.
There's a
you
lot
put
of
you put the capo on and then you tune the guitar.
Right. There's
Because,
a lot.
yeah.
There's a lot of mechanics
Yeah.
involved, but the biggest thing that's involved is your ear. You got to be able to hear this, and if you can't hear it, I would suggest when you tune your guitar, tune the first four strings with the tuner, right? E, A, D, G. But when you tune the B string, fret it at the third fret and tune it as a D note. And make sure that's at A440. Because when you take it off, the B will actually be at A429.2. Or something crazy like that.
It'll be a
It's-
couple
it's
cents flat.
really slightly flat,
Yeah.
right? Because if you let it tune the B by itself, it'll always make it sharp.
Right. So you're mitigating,
Yeah.
you're pre-stretching it by doing that.
Yeah.
And you're mitigating the effects
Right.
of that increase in tension,
It's
which incrementally raises the pitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Why?
a
Because physics.
yes, because physics, but it's there's a word I'm looking for there.
Because why, Ginger?
Trigonometry.
Yes.
It's a
It's not just bullshit.
I know. It's a thing. It's a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
You're
We all have to
compromising-
compromise in this world.
Yes, we do, my friend. No,
You large bullshit, you.
now blow me. It's a compromise that you make in tuning, so that every chord you play
Mm-hmm.
is relatively in tune.
Mm-hmm. Relatively, it's never perfect.
Right? It's never perfect.
No.
But you want it to be so relatively in tune that the listener can't hear any
Mm-hmm.
out of tune notes. And you can't hear them. Because as soon as you hear them,
You're
it
going to
just-
start compensating,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, I actually play notes and stretch them slightly to get them
To
in
get
tune.
the chord into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Playing outdoor shows, like playing outdoor
Oh, yeah.
concerts,
Yeah.
and the fog rolls in, we'll do it,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
Outdoor festivals,
Stanfest.
cold, yeah. It'll do it. So that's compensated saddles.
So there you go, Mr. Man. Chris Coote. He knows what he's talking about, boys.
Just, I know a little about a lot.
Well,
But not a lot
been
about
putting this
a little.
shit all together for your whole life. You know what you're doing. Special thanks for Chris, man. That's
Clap
really
harder.
good.
Dance, monkey. I should have gotten you cymbals.
Yeah.
All right,
What are you gonna do?
let's move along.
Any questions?
Yes, but first, Cam's going to be in Cape Breton next week.
What?
Really?
Yes, and so are you.
Oh,
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
You're up there for Kitchen Fest. You guys should connect.
Play golf?
All right.
No time for golf.
Don't have time for golf.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, next.
There you go. Da-da-da-da-da.
Anything?
Oh yeah, lots of things. You can find them.
Okay.
I got a super chat from Jeff Gallant.
Jeff
Monsieur
Gallant.
Gallant.
Somebody he's
PE1.
referencing, I think, a series of numbers that Jasper North put up. He says 13, 17, 24, 32, 42, 56.
13.
Those are
17.
medium gauge strings.
They're medium
He says
gauge.
EJ24 strings. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are medium gauge. I don't use medium anymore.
And then Jeff says, looks like a hot shit mess of numbers. Crap.
Yeah, no, you
It's crap.
trust me. If you're using mediums, even if you're a bluegrass player, you need to switch to lights. Because I play bluegrass on lights, and you can't tell the difference. And it's so much easier on your hands, and so much easier on the guitar.
Yeah.
And the guitar gets louder with light gauge. People think they lose volume. That's not true.
No.
What happens is, when you put mediums on this guitar, it puts an extra 25 pounds on this assembly here, which paralyzes this much of the top. It's just pulling so hard it's not able to move. You put lights on it, it drops down to about 128 pounds for the whole set.
Depending on the set of strings. Yeah.
And this circle gets smaller, right? It paralyzes less of the top. You get more everything. These are light gauge.
If you think about
Listen how huge and big that is, right?
if you think about the bracing underneath the top of this guitar,
Yeah.
and what almost 30 pounds less
Yeah.
will do to unload the bracing,
Oh yeah. It's
the
amazing.
top can sing.
And this guitar here is special. I beat the crap out of this thing. She's all full of like frost checks and everything else.
Yeah.
This guitar is incredible. It's never moved. The finish cracked on me because of the temperatures I put it through. But
I can see on this saddle, it's very slightly compensated.
it's very. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But they don't.
cool.
They don't make it look like it's
No.
compensated.
No.
Okay, next.
Super chat from Blair's Feinson.
Hey,
Blair Svensson, our longtime winner way back
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago.
I think you might have answered this already, but so I guess we don't have to tune the B string flat, considering that the saddle has done our compensation.
No, you still do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
intonate the guitar. You're gonna have to temper the guitar.
It's by
It
far the
doesn't-
most sensitive
It doesn't
one.
matter what kind of guitar you're playing. You have to temper the guitar. You can't just tune the guitar willy-nilly with a tuner, because tuners are dumb. They don't understand. See, tuners understand what A440 is. They don't understand what the relationship between the notes of the guitar are.
So the
don't have a
compensation
clue.
doesn't.
The compensation
Compensate for
takes
that?
care of like 95% of it,
Yeah.
and
But you're still going to have to
Yeah.
compensate the B string and
Yeah.
often the E string. If your guitar action is too high or the neck is a bit off,
yep,
like the main things you have to temper is that when you play a G chord, that note isn't sharp. This guitar is perfect, so the E and A are perfect relation, and so is the G chord.
yep.
Again, the guitar is perfect. It's a bad example. But open, you have a perfect triad.
And some guitars are gonna
And you have a
are gonna
perfect-
show it less
Yeah.
because the action's lower.
Yeah.
Higher action guitars are gonna show it more. So
you got to use your ear. You have
Yeah.
to use your ear, and make sure it's great practice. No one should shy away from this.
I really like your suggestion of taking the B
and tuning it as a D.
Tuning it as a D.
Yep.
Because
then you know.
Yeah, you're
true.
basically you're making a correction a couple frets up already.
Yep.
So as you play in that gold zone on the neck, you've already tempered it for that area, right?
When I was working with the Sullivan family when I was a kid, Enoch and Margie Sullivan, they had a ritual for tuning the guitar, and I mean it was a ritual. We never devolved from this way.
Mm-hmm.
And if we did, if Enoch caught me doing it some other way, I was in shit. And he said, "Give me that guitar." Because so the way that they tuned was, he had a tuning fork. He had no pitch pipe. He had no tuner, and he put the guitar in A, 2nd fret. And he held his tuning fork on the guitar, and got that A note. And then he tuned the whole chord, each string. See, I'm tempering right there.
Mm-hmm.
I want this relationship to be good as well as this one. Off, see? There you go. And then we never tuned the guitar again all night. Even when the capo moved.
Right.
Because we tuned it with the capo on.
Because you're mitigating 2 frets up.
Exactly.
Right? So you got a little error with the fret off.
And that's how we tuned the guitar every single night.
Yeah.
And he did it. He wasn't even the guitar player. Margie played the guitar. He took her 35 and it was really serious.
Yeah.
He was like, "Now come over here and get an A." And I'd have to, you had to tune the mandolin from the A string out. Not the G first, not the D, not the E, the A string.
Out. Yeah.
You just tune it first. Then you tune the D to the A. Right? And then you tune the E to the A. And then the last thing was the G string.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you got the mandolin tempered. The same way, right?
Nobody talks about the cores.
Yeah.
Right? People talk about the total diameter of the set.
Right.
And they get all wrapped around the axle with custom sets of strings and tensions and everything.
That's why the XS D'Addario sounds so good. Because their cores are, not only are they probably the same dimensions, but they're using a special type of steel for it.
There are different formulations.
Right? There's a different core in those strings, which makes them tighter feeling
and
louder.
Different manufacturers pre-tension the core and wind the core under a certain tension.
D'Addario does that.
There's a lot of different voodoo that happens.
It's crazy.
Right? Yeah.
But a lot of it works, and you just got to find what you like, right? Okay, next.
A question from Josh Fogel.
Josh
Fogel.
Fogel?
Fogel?
Mm-hmm.
Like Fogelterry's Cove?
Sure.
Okay.
Finally bought the FS3. Still needs opening up. But do you think the Elixir coated strings impact sustain at all versus non-coated?
No. They all sustain the same.
Now.
Is that all from the guitar more than the strings?
It has to do with the guitar and has to do with your hands, but it has to do with the guitar more than anything. But there is no difference whatsoever between coated strings and non-coated in the sustain. None. And over the long haul, uncoated strings will lose their sustain
quicker.
They'll lose it altogether.
Yeah.
Coated strings don't lose any.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say a set of really good GHS phosphor bronze were, let's be really generous and say they're 5% better than Elixirs.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you play one set, they've dropped down to where Elixirs are, and then they continue to deteriorate.
Yeah.
Until you got to change them.
Well,
it isn't worth it.
If you just look at the stretch and the give of a set of strings over its lifespan, they're constantly stretching and relaxing as you play them, pursuant to how hard you're playing them too. You're constantly tuning them back up, putting tension back in to keep them in tune, and after a while, they just lose that elasticity.
Yep.
And the elasticity is the sustain of the string.
Yeah. And also, sustain has a massive amount to do with the guitar. The bridge plate, the top of the guitar, the materials used to make the saddle and the nut, whether the nut and saddle are actually where there should be, like the depth of the nut grooves, the all of this stuff.
It all plays its part.
All of this stuff. It isn't strings that create that. It's a
whole system.
Symphony of things that create sustain and tone, including the player's hands, right?
Yeah. The guitar is a huge tuning fork in its in its own
it's
right.
like a world under its own.
With a million pieces to it. Yeah.
Try next.
Super chat from Larry Reindress.
Larry Reindress.
Local Larry. Counting down the days.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, there's a few of them on here that are going to be at Stan. Thanks for the great tour of Guitar House. It's one amazing home for guitars.
Oh, it's amazing. Okay, next.
Super chat from Jeff Gallant.
Jeff Gallant.
Monsieur.
He says, we need to bring back the Clucky the Sensor version.
Clucky the what?
Clucky the Sensor Chicken.
Clucky the Sensor Chicken.
Okay, next.
You can hear it in my headphones.
I heard it.
Turn that down.
Clucky laid a big egg tonight. He's a little sore.
Highlighted chat from Mark Smith.
Mark Smith.
Member for 37 months.
Wowza. Mark needs to ask some questions because
Yes, he does.
you don't hear from Mark much.
Yeah.
No.
He's always chatting.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. Best two tips I've got from JP and Chris over the last 3 years is temper the guitar and doing it again if you place a capo. Now my ears are happy.
Perfect. Okay, next.
You in a hurry?
Yep.
Yeah, are you in a hurry? Got
Because
somewhere to be?
Yeah, because we got a lot to do. So, trying to get through these.
All right.
There's no more super chats.
Okay.
Slow your roll, big wheels.
Good. Because we got a massive thing to talk to you about.
Arm your airbags.
I'm just trying to give us enough time. Is this
Drop
gonna,
your
this
suspension
might,
a
this might
notch.
take us 15, 20 minutes. Dude.
Drop your suspension a notch.
So, you guys have all been aware, of course, that we're getting our list compiled for the draw this year. We've already got we got 29 people.
Yep.
So there's
21 to go.
21 to go.
Good mathing.
And,
Good mathing.
So, we usually give away a really important guitar and a bunch of equipment and stuff, whatever we can give away. Our partners have made that possible. Yamaha and D'Addario and the Levies and everybody has kicked in the thing, and just it's been actually quite exciting to see
Ask
these.
Blair.
Yeah. So this year something spectacular has happened. Just this week, I've been informed that through Roger Schmidt at Brickhouse Guitars, who is our tastemaker, he's developing instruments all the time that I've reviewed on this channel: the Avenires, the hose ends, the Bridgeports. He's working to make guitars that you just can't find anywhere else. And his main squeeze in the guitar world is Hosen Young, and who is a direct student of Irvin Samoji. And Hosen is one of the world's greatest guitar builders. He's just unbelievable. And he's well known in Asia and Europe and all these, but Roger has brought him here, and he's starting to catch on, right? I have his guitars here.
Yep.
I have several of his instruments that I will never part with. And so, amazingly, this week, Hosen Young agreed with Roger to create a J.P. Cormier model Hosen. Yes! Yes, yes!
Get your paws out.
Oh.
Get your paws out.
So this is incredibly important because of the lineage of Hosen, where he learned to build guitars from Irvin Samoji, who built guitars for John Denver and Neil Diamond, and unbelievable. The guy's guitar, he's still alive. Irvin is still alive, and he builds one guitar a year, and it's $35,000.
Toy.
Cheap.
And they're worth every dime.
Cheap.
They're one of the most sought after guitars on the planet. And Hosen learned from him, right? He learned all of his top tuning and grading and all the design. Hosen's an unbelievable builder. And you can see that when you go to Brickhouse Guitars, you talk to Roger, and he shows you the Avenir guitars that Hosen's building, and the actual Hosen models. They're doing something together that's just it's unheard of. It's not happening anywhere else in the world, but right there in Kitchener, Ontario. So Hosen has agreed to build a J.P. Cormier signature model. They're going to call it the Bear, because that was one of my old nicknames. Like, don't poke the bear, right? And so it's going to be a dreadnought guitar with a bear claw Sitka spruce top, Indian rosewood back and sides, all bound in walnut.
Nice.
1 3/4 inch nut, Avenir headstock with nickel hardware, SGI pickup installed. Like it's going to be a road cannon for me, right? And the last 4 or 5 frets on the tail are going to be gone. And Roger, who is a world class pencil artist, pencil and charcoal and watercolor, but mostly pencil. He's designing the logo that's going to be on this guitar, right, for the bear. And it's going to be a bear of some kind on that, right down here. They're going to remove these 5 frets and put it right there. And so it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing instrument. And guess what? Hosen has agreed to give us one that we can give away
as
at
the grand
Christmas.
prize. Yeah.
So the grand prize this year is a Hosen built J.P. Cormier signature
Bear
modern guitar.
What are the geographic limitations on that prize?
Well, I don't think there are going to be any limitations, because if it has to, it can come directly from Singapore, right? But it will probably come from Kitchener, but Roger can ship anywhere in the world.
Depending on where you are,
yeah,
they can ship it
So
appropriately.
it's already been shipped from Singapore. It's legal everywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. You guys know Roger and I have been friends for 25 years. The guy is one of my best friends and one of my best collaborators on this channel and in my career. He's provided me with instruments. He provided with Dave Gunning with instruments for 15, 20 years now. And
your workhorses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shit that just, we beat it to death.
Bruce Guthrie, Matt Anderson, Charlie Acord, like the list
all
is endless
these
of
guys
people
have
we
got
know.
guitars from Roger.
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to do. There's a rule. If you have not subscribed to Brickhouse Guitars on YouTube, on the Rogers channel, you can't win this prize. So everybody go right now, find Brickhouse Guitars, go watch Roger demonstrate all the beautiful instruments in there, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
Yep. Check
Doesn't
out that
cost
channel.
you a dime.
Nope.
It never costs you a dime to do me either. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this,
that's your own fault.
Hit subscribe. We need it. We need the subscriptions. It helps YouTube do everything that pays our bills. So if you go right now to Brickhouse Guitars, after you're done watching the show tonight, go find Roger, Brickhouse Guitars on YouTube. He has dozens of videos on there. And he's a master guitar player. He just put out his record last year. It's incredible. So go on there, hit subscribe, because when we announce this winner in December, if you're not subscribed to Brickhouse, you can't win. And we can see if you're subscribed. So be aware. So that's the deal.
That
we
is
want
a
you to
killer
go
grand prize.
help support Roger. Help support also the release of a brand new J.P. Cormier instrument, right? By one of the best builders in the world. And you're going to win a $4,500 guitar for Christmas.
Yeah, buddy.
Damn.
Yeah, buddy.
It's going to be awesome. Subscribe to Roger's channel, Brickhouse Guitars. So,
the question
tonight. Do we have any further super chats we can run through right quick before we go?
Stand by. Yes, we have one from Stephen Baker.
Stephen Becker?
Sudsy.
He says, if fretting and capos make triangles, you must need an advanced degree in trigonometry to tune Dave Gunning's guitar.
Yes. Evidently.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Scientific calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay,
All right.
is that all?
Yes.
The question is tonight, what is the name of my new Hosen signature model?
You just said it.
That's okay.
Well, maybe they
You
weren't
big
paying.
oaf.
Maybe they weren't paying attention.
How could you not?
It's
I don't
still
know.
a race to the
I
finish.
did sort of.
That's got to be the lamest freaking question
I only
you've come
said
up
it
with
once.
in like months.
No one's answered it yet, so I mean.
Yeah, I guess they didn't know.
Nobody
Good,
listens
smart
to you,
ass.
do they?
No. And you think I don't know that? That's why I said
As long
that
as
question.
you're self-aware.
Oh God, I'm enjoying this right now. Electric orange sipping cream from Sugarland's Distillery.
You were supposed to come home with banana, but you didn't.
It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. That's a commercial right there.
Yeah.
Not a good one.
Nobody wants to
need
see.
to sponsor us.
That nobody wants to see. Are we still
They
racing?
need to sponsor us.
Yeah, they
Sugarland's
There's answers
Distillery. Come on, reach out to
Okay,
us. Come
the
on.
guitar is not called the Walrus. Okay.
And it's not called the arsehole.
all right.
The Sea Lion.
We have enough answers.
We're only taking one answer tonight, too, boys.
Only one?
Ooh.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end. It was only halfway through the year. We
Yeah.
got one answer tonight. Who we got?
Oh, Herschel.
That's the next page.
Herschel
Herschel.
Sizemore?
Herschel Walker.
Richter.
Richter.
Herschel.
Where the fuck did you get
Herschel's
Sizemore from?
Well, because he's the mandolin player I knew. Herschel Rector. Number 30.
Here we
There
go.
he is.
The bear.
Herschel.
Rector.
There you go, my friend. You the man. You the man.
Yeah,
Just
buddy.
gonna hook all this music up here again.
Mm-hmm.
Just do something.
do some- Settings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bluetooth cannot connect successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find anything to play anyway,
Okay.
so.
Good
You
job.
know what? I'll just play something else.
Find a
I
pick.
think I have enough picks.
Got a pick?
I'm not sure.
Here, I'm just giving you an egg interlude.
Ginger's
I call it
just-
scrambled.
It's called Scream.
Welcome everyone, and goodbye to everyone from String Theory and Chris and Megan, and
Jack and
Ginger
Jill.
and Jack and Jill,
It's very well tempered.
and my ball sack, and my warning everybody: we die like real men. No
No
airbags.
airbags.
We'll see you next week, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna play this guitar till Ginger shits me off.